Hej och välkomna. Vi är väldigt glada att få vara här och presentera idag. Det är en stor ära. Tack Björn.
So, hello and good morning. We are very grateful that we are invited here to present at this special day, kind of historic day, to put all these researchers together. So Pernilla Hugoson from Stockholm and I from Switzerland, we will talk about family-centered music therapy as facilitator for parental singing. And I will start with some background information on theory, methods and evidence of music therapy in neonatal care. And the focus of our presentation is to give you insight in our clinical practice and ongoing projects. Can I use this one to switch the slides, or is that not working? Or should I just here on the keyboard? Is that okay?
Yes.
This one? It's not. That. Okay. So as we already heard earlier today, the premature infant is actually a displaced fetus. The perfect intrauterine environment is replaced by a world between risk of overstimulation and risk of sensory deprivation. And this is exactly the objective of music therapy in the NICU. On the one hand, to mask stressful noise, to facilitate pacification and relaxation and stabilization, and on the other hand, really to offer and facilitate individualized stimulation, meaningful interaction, and with that to support neurological development. And by integrating the parents in the therapeutic process from the very beginning, we can also support coping, empowerment, and bonding. So just to give you an overview, because there are different approaches out in studies, in clinical practice. So it started already in the 1970s with the first studies with CDs like lullabies, recorded mother's voice, womb sounds, and then more and more active and interactive approaches have been developed. And from child-centered approaches now to family-centered approaches, and I will speak later in more detail about creative music therapy, one of the interactive approaches. So what about the evidence? In 2010, I conducted a systematic integrative review, and I could already identify 43 studies that could be included with multiple benefits associated with music therapy. For example, more stable behavioral states, more stable physiological parameters, pain reduction, and also first studies who looked on parental well-being, coping, and mother-infant bonding. A lot of these studies were small studies, no RCTs, and luckily in the last year it's exploded, so more and more RCTs have been published and a meta-analysis could be conducted. They included 14 RCTs, and the authors could show a significant large effect favoring music therapy, especially for infant respiration rate, and especially for a reduction of maternal anxiety. So let's come to clinical practice. How do we work? 15 years ago, I adapted creative music therapy to the vulnerable field of premature infants and their parents. It's an individualized, interactive approach and family-centered. So interaction is offered through improvised and trained infant-directed humming at the very beginning, just humming in kneecap styles. You already demonstrated it perfectly. So when we sing with a very premature baby, it's really just one note, two notes, and then making a pause, really to adapt continuously to the rhythms, expressions of the infant. Does the infant need relaxing sound? Does the infant want some stimulation? So we decided in the moment, and that is also what we do with the parents, really to let them experience how to interact with the infant. And it's very important also to assess the needs of the infant, but also of the family. So also the music of the family, the culture. Is it an Arabic family? So they sing in a different style than in a European family. It's a therapeutic approach, so it's also crisis intervention for parents, coping, and of course the main objective is to motivate the parents to use their voice, to speak, to hum, to sing, and experience meaningful interaction through music. So on the picture, you see one of the typical situations. So I often go to the parents when they are in skin-to-skin contact, and I start as early as possible. And often when I come the first time to the parents are still really stressed with the skin-to-skin care. So it takes a while until they can really enjoy it. So my impression is that often first also the parents need to be nurtured. So we also need, our aim is also to have the parents to relax. And on the picture you see a special instrument. I took it from Switzerland, and I hereby give it officially to you. It's a monochord, it's a therapeutic instrument. So it's just one sound. And as you hear, it's just going on. It has a lot of vibration. It has a lot of overtones. So the sound itself is very relaxing. And when the parents are in kangaroo care, perhaps you could come here and put that a little bit higher so that I come to your bones. So, and I can disinfect it each time, so no worry about the hygiene things. And then I place it to the elbow, and now you can hear difference. And now to the elbow. So the body is resonating. So the vibration goes through the body of the parents to the infant. So, and it's a little bit like we heard in the womb sound. So that it's not only the mother's voice in the womb, there's always something around. And yeah, so, and then you can sing in every style above it, in Eastern music, Western music, in Arabic, or even in Swedish. Just to give you an impression, and also for the parents, it's nice because it's not so naked. If you just ask, let's sing, as you already described, it's really exposed, and then you have a sound you can join in. So this is one option. The next thing I want to show you is a little case. So it's years ago, but it's about synchronization and communicative musicality. So this is why I picked this example. It's about Emila. Emila was born with 23 weeks with a long list of complications and diagnoses. And the mother suffered under fear, guilt, distrust, emotional outbursts, and first signs also of depression. And when the time came that she could bottle feed her daughter, a vicious cycle developed because Emila had huge troubles to coordinate her suck-swallow-breathe rhythm, and the mother reacted with a lot of stress or withdrawing. So they could not come together. It was very stressful. And the team asked me, could you go to that family to offer music therapy? Normally I go earlier, but I was fully booked at that time. So I came to them and I just sang during feeding time. I just sat next to them during bottle feeding, and I entrained my humming exactly to the rhythms of the baby, and it helped Emila to find more rhythm in the sucking. And it also helped the mother first to calm down, because when you are stressed, you cannot go into a relationship. First, you have to calm down. Yeah, and I would like to share the moment with you when the mother started to sing by herself. So after a while, she joined me with singing, and then she started to sing by herself. And she improvises in that moment in a Turkish style. And I would like to ask you really to look on the rhythms. The rhythms of the mother, the rhythms of the infant, and perhaps you also notice something in between the mother and the infant. Oh, that was not the one.
Kızım da kızım, kızma anam, kızımı da vermem cızmana, cızman değişirsin gelsin, kızım otursun yesin. Kızım da kızım, kızma anam, kızımı da vermem cızmana, cızman değişirsin gelsin, kızım otursun yesin. Benim de kızım, benim de kızım pek güzel, gözüne yara benzer, gözüne de gözlük takılmış, motosikletle gezer. Kızım da kızım, kızma anam, kızımı da vermem cızmana, cızman değişirsin gelsin, kızım otursun yesin.
Yeah, I think this is a perfect interaction. So the previously stressed mother is in balance and self-synchrony, in interactional synchrony with the rhythms of the baby, and also the baby is relaxed. So she engages to take the words of Colin Trevarthen, and she engages in communicative musicality, in pulse, quality, and narrative. So this was one of my core concepts that emerged in my qualitative analysis years ago. And here you can see it. When you put it into musical notes, when you see these videos under a musical microscope, you can see that. So now I have not the pointer, but the line, you see the notes, it's the singing of the mother. It's the gizima, gizima, gizmana. And then the line on top is the sucking, these little signs. There are not really notes, but they are exactly in time. So you can put it in musical transcription. And this sucking is also highly rhythmical. So the premature infant, they suck like in little packages. They suck for 10 or 2 times, and then there's a pause, and then again. And the mother synchronizes exactly with this rhythm of her daughter. And then you see it here again. The little girl starts to suck, and the mother starts to sing. But what is really interesting is this moment. So the mother starts to sing again, this gizima, gizima, but Emila is not starting to suck. So what is the mother doing? Is she even noticing? Is she just going on to sing? Or is she withdrawing? And she immediately makes a pause, regulates, and then she starts again, and then they are exactly together. And after that, you saw her smiling, and she was going on with even more motheries in her voice. So this is a very special moment of meeting, a neonatal moment of meeting. And after that, she said, if I would not have so much love, right, then my daughter would have no chance to survive. I'm like a lion. So, and I think this is a perfect picture for experience, parental competence and empowerment. So, and the next case is from Pernilla.
Thank you, Friedrike. Wonderful. Yeah. So I had the opportunity to work here in Stockholm at Karolinska and at Saxka Children's and Youth Hospital in the south of Stockholm also. We have some nurses here. And in Sweden we have the great possibility to have the parents with the babies nearly all the time. So I am always working with the whole family. I very seldom just meet the baby. So that is my reality, so I would like to take you with me. And I don't have any video, so I will take you there by imagination. In the acute care room in the NICU, the light is soft and the nurses talks with soothing voices. Every family is occupied with their own situation. And in one corner of the room, you can feel a sense of worry. The family I will visit, they has just returned from lunch to see their baby, and it's time for feeding. The mother is settling down in the armchair, and the father is changing the diaper. The baby is not so satisfied, she's hungry. So it's a bit difficult for the father to change the diaper. I can see when I see him that he's getting very stressed about it. And the mother is also urging him to get on with it because she's stressed, because she wants to give her baby the meal. So I settle down beside the armchair and I ask very gently if I can sing something. And that's okay. So I choose a song that I know the family likes and they like to sing. And when the melody starts to fill the room, something is happening. The mother, she relaxes and her shoulder sinks down a bit, and she lifts her hand and put it on her baby girl's head, and she starts to stroke the head with her fingertips in the exactly same tempo as the singing. And the baby also calms down and starts to try to suck a bit. And when I have been singing for just a short while, the mother joins in the singing, so we sing together. And the father, he moves closer and he puts his hand on the baby's back. So in that moment, the bond between us in that corner of the room is very strong, because we share this mutual feelings of presence and closeness, peace and belonging. So I am sure that everyone in here working in the NICU, you are well acquainted with situations like this. And so I have been wondering, how can you understand what was happening in this special moment? So I would like to illuminate that by using expressions developed by Daniel Stern, who Colwyn was talking about, yes, also. And he has developed these expressions of present moment and moment of meeting. So at first, everyone was very occupied with their own task. The baby was hungry, and the mother was preparing for breastfeeding, and the father was changing the diaper. So when I came into the room, the air was very filled with stressful energy, and I felt that there's no time now for talking. And as I knew this family very well, I chose a song that they knew and that we had been singing together also many times before. And this time, this unified singing created a very strong empowermental force in that special moment. The singing became a holding environment. I think you were talking about that, Colvin, a holding environment that also can function as emotional care, as you were saying, Friedrike, the emotional care for the whole family. That's very important in our work. Yeah. And Daniel Stern then, he talks about the moment of meeting as an expression for when change can appear. So what is created in this moment of meeting, it's an experience with another human being in the moment, happening here and now. It's just only some seconds. And he calls it also, I think it's nice, a unified journey of emotions. And it's something that happens growing in time, this emotion, this moment of emotion. And it's created by all the persons involved in that moment. So when the mother started to sing, and the father, he moved closer, and the baby was starting to suck, they together created this moment, together, this moment of meeting. And Daniel Stern puts it in words by saying it like this: what we are talking about is really something as simple as doing something together, whether it is psychological, affective, or physiological. We do something together, and that's very unifying and very strong. So, you have been seeing a lot of videos now, but I just like an introduction to a small talk about parental singing and skin to skin, one of my project families. You can notice the father is doing something just in the end, and he's also the photographer. So what was happening there? The mother was singing and the baby was smiling, she was feeling relaxed, and the father also wanted to join in because it was a very strong moment. He saw his wife and his baby girl, and he was so eager to join behind the mobile phone. So he had to hold. And that's very nice, I think. It's so strong. So parental singing and skin-to-skin contact is really multimodal intervention, multimodal interaction that synchronizes baby and parent. And these sun stimulations, you have been talking about all of this, so really I don't need to say anything about it. But I think that this parental, or what should I say, the skin-to-skin contact is, I think you were talking about it, Christine. Maybe it's you need to have the skin-to-skin contact also for the singing. I've been thinking a lot about that. They are a very nice combination, a very what do you say in English? A full combination. You have everything. You have the skin, you have the heartbeat, you have the voice timbre, the vibrations, you have the movement. It's so rich, I should say. Yeah. I think you have put it in words, Colvin. I need to say this. A dance of well-being through communicative musicality. Yeah, a dance of well-being. So now we leave the clinical world and we go to the research projects. This project here in Stockholm is really, where are you, Minna and Kaisa-Mari? Yeah, up there. It's a collaborative project between Helsinki and Stockholm. So Minna is one of the project founders, yeah, and you will hear her talk this afternoon. And also my Finnish music therapist colleague, Kaisa-Mari Kostelainen, is going to give a small talk. So we are very happy to have you here. And it was you, Minna, who invented the singing kangaroo, the expression, I think. And it's like, yeah, perfect. So our overall aim, 5 minutes, my God. Okay. The clinical part is always so, you have to just talk about. Okay, I will say something, yes. I have been doing a lot of interviews with the parents. It was very nice to hear you, Carl, because you also talked about what parents are saying. And they really are saying things about what I was talking about, the case vignette, emotional care as a holding environment, present moments, and empowerment. That's what the parents are saying when you ask them about what was happening and how they felt. You can read this when you see it. We have been analyzing some data. The parents do parent diaries. And it seems that the intervention has a greatest impact on the fathers. The intervention fathers, they both sit more skin to skin and they sing more, and the control fathers. So that's interesting, I think. We also did a study. I don't say anything about this now, because Friedrike will say something also. So this is our research team in Stockholm and my supervisors. Yeah, Friedrike?
Yeah, I make it very quick. This is just one of the ongoing projects. So it's an ongoing pilot study, and the hypothesis is that the experience of creative music therapy in neonatal care improves short and long-term outcomes in premature infants, especially improved brain growth, larger brain volume, better microstructure, with around 40 weeks. So we include clinical stable premature infants under 32 weeks of gestational age. The intervention is music therapy 3 times the week, and of course to support parents to sing by themselves. The control group is just standard care without music therapy, and the primary outcome is the MRI for brain structure and functions at the age of 40 weeks. We want to include 70 infants. At the moment, we have 44 included. And we also do a follow-up. So in Switzerland, there is this nice Swiss neonatal network. So you can really follow up all the children with 2 and 5 years. And since January, we have also a little master project going on to evaluate also parental stress, anxiety, and bonding, and also a qualitative interview. So this is the research team. I'm very grateful to Professor Hans-Ulrich Bucher, who's the PI and sponsor of the study. So I introduced my idea to him years ago, and he said, yeah, let's do that. And also to Cornelia Hackmann, Giancarlo Natalucci, and Dirk Basler. Yeah, and now we want to conclude together. So to bring that to one slide, what we talked about, I think music therapy can facilitate relaxation, self-regulation, and meaningful interaction through experience communicative musicality already in the premature infant, and also
in the parents. And as many people has been saying here earlier, that you need to be relaxed to be able to be in a relation. So relaxed parents are like the basic for reaching the infant, I should say, and for building this family in the NICU. So, yeah.
Yeah, and by doing that, we can hopefully promote attachment and bonding, and perhaps also neurobehavioral outcomes. We have no results yet, but we are curious about that. So thank you for listening.
Thank you.